Power Engineering Consultant Limited, Dr. Idowu Yebanjo, while speaking on our flagship business show, Business Nigeria, emphasized that the current private investments in the sector will require support of government to fully industrialize Nigeria.
Government has to be involved in the electricity supply business in terms of investment, because private investors really don't have the kind of money that will eventually industrialize a nation like ours. However, the Electricity Act, it is the surest and fastest way to industrialize the nation. So what we should be doing is knocking on the doors of the governors, helping the state governments to be like Enugu State, to be like Ekiti State and Ondo State. Look at what happened at Aba recently. At the end of February, Geometric Power was able to get over 148 megawatts ready for a cluster in Aba. And look at, people will move there, industries will move there, they begin to get 24/7 electricity, they meet out their customers and so on and so forth. That's what will happen in all these states that are getting their electricity market unbundled.
Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule says the Nasarawa Investment Summit 2024 will focus on industrial renaissance to help promote the infrastructural development that the state has witnessed in the last 2 years of the summit since 2022. We have details in this report.
On the 15th to 16th of May, Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, will host world business leaders and investors during the state's second investment summit. These events will further open up the state to investors and attract great opportunities to the agriculture and mining sector.
Huge lithium rush in Nasarawa state with an influx of investors in the mineral sector. Just before the summit, God willing also, His Excellency will lead other notable leaders in the country to launch the ongoing lithium processing plant worth about hundreds of millions of dollars, also first of its kind. These are some of the revolutions being done to revitalize the economy of Nasarawa State.
For the governor, the investment summit will enhance regional collaboration and infrastructure development. This will also be a big push for the state industrialization drive.
Definitely, industrialization plays a major role in economic development, creating employment opportunities and improving the quality of life of citizens. And these are areas of focus as far as we are concerned in Nasarawa State. And what are the materials actually that will drive industrialization? One, he just mentioned about mining in particular, and that's why I think it's important we have the chairman who is here. I mentioned earlier on that the commissioning of the first mining site, for processing of lithium is going to be coming up, in Nasarawa State, in the next few days. But all of a sudden now, we have more and more discoveries, and that's why I think the MD mentioned the word, lithium rush, which is similar to the gold rush that he is hearing. So we have had lots of meetings here yesterday with so many potential foreign partners, that are coming to be looking at lithium in Nasarawa State. We had a Russian delegation. This morning I met with Japanese ambassador and some other people. Of course, I met with about 3 different investors from China, also that came, and everybody is pushing forward towards this lithium processing in the state.
The Nasarawa Investment Summit will expose investors to opportunities and projects. Ademola Lawrence, TVC News, Abuja.
Failure to adhere to trade guidelines could result in significant delays and increased costs during the cargo clearance process. This warning was issued to non-compliant traders at Apapa ports by the controller of the Apapa Customs Command, emphasizing the importance of accurate declarations for efficient cargo processing. TVC News senior business correspondent Ifunaya Eze reports.
Apapa Port plays a pivotal role in the nation's maritime trade, making substantial contributions to government revenue and GDP growth. Highlighting the significance of compliance, Controller Babajide Jayoba elaborated on how deviations from trade guidelines often lead to delays and additional costs, particularly when cargoes are subjected to physical examination due to suspected infractions.
Somebody bringing in the handset, for example, and the scanning image will reveal something contrary to handset. So in such cases, we need to break them down and do physical examination. And that's why I started by saying compliance. If you are bringing in an item and you declare, if the image does not contradict what you are bringing in, nobody will subject you to double examination. The double examination actually even takes our time, waste your own time too, and in the process, your cargo may even go into demurrage, and you start paying the terminal charges.
Furthermore, he emphasized the advantages of honest declarations, citing the potential for declarants to earn credibility, access fast-tracking processing, and even qualify for authorized economic operator status.
You earn it. And how do you earn it? Through your declaration. We profile you, we discover that this person does not need to be forced, he's been complying without anybody checking. And that is what is informing those AEO. It has been launched, and we just pray that others who are not benefiting from that now, we see that as a challenge. The challenge is to play by the rules.
Recognizing the collective responsibility of stakeholders in revenue generation, Controller Jayeoba disclosed that the first quarter revenue collection of 489 billion naira exceeded the previous year's record by over 100%. He expressed confidence in meeting the command's revenue target for the year, underscoring the importance of cooperation among all involved parties. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
And wrapping up business news, the stock market continues to count lower figures after trading activities due to massive sales of shares by investors. Effiong Ekop reports, and we'll be back with football tonight. Stay with us.
The market stays downward, with various companies dropping shares prices coming on the back of huge sales pressure. The stocks of MTN Nigeria and Transcorp were most hit by sharp losses, as each of them left the markets with maximum 10% drop in price. The banks followed as investors sold off holdings, even as these financial institutions give shareholders notices to help in recapitalizing their bases. Trade pressure got indexed downward by 1%. The business volume was lower than 400 million units of shares, while value showed 9.5 billion naira. The business gainers included FCMB, Livestock Feeds, Zenith, GT Holdings, and Sterling Bank. Outside Nigeria, stock market trades ended in mixed territories. The Kenyan market was positive as investors renewed interest in equities. In Mauritius, transactions were down on the back of sales of equities. In Morocco, trade conditions were favorable to big firms as their gains lifted market transactions by 0.17%. Finally, the market in Accra, Ghana ended deals flat, indicating no strong push by investors to stick on equities. Effiong Ekop, TVC News, Lagos.